Good morning. Time is your tool. Time is nothing that you've been given. So we find ourselves now real deep into this pandemic, and we're going to be staying deep in this pandemic. Time is not going to be your friend. So you haven't been given any time. So you may have heard a lot of people just say, you've got all the time in the world. No, you do not. And you know you don't. And I'll be very privileged if you have found some time into putting this on. So respect to that. My algorithms, my reaches, my impressions, they go to those that are over 55 and in between 65. That is proven. Now I do get a trickle down. So I do have some 30s, I have some 40s, but I'm mainly in the 50s. And that is probably because I've really stress tested this platform. And why have I gone to that sector? Why? Because you know more than me. And that is reason why I should be tapping into your mindset. Because I want to be coaching those people that have forgotten more than I would ever know. And to me, that is going to be such an honor because it's going to be my definition of success. What is your definition of success? Success is something that is intrinsically of great value to you, that you want to externally express to your world. And once that world has grasped on to that value, then you will be successful. And that is success. So when you were younger, did you have anyone ever say to you, get a life, get a life? Do you know why they were saying get a life? Because you was living your truth and you was on your route to being successful. And that person who you was with at that time that told you that, they felt threatened because they were not. They were a little bit lost. Now, instead of them realizing that they were being lost and they had to connect towards you, they didn't. They disconnected because they thought you were weird. And they thought, I don't like the way you're thinking because it's successful and it's hurting me a little bit. It's hurting my ego. So get a life, yeah? Just run what everyone else runs. Now, fitness sector, fitness industry, fitness business, those people that try to promote that, what do? You get onto one of these platforms, right? And you see someone extremely fit, someone extremely muscular, and they're doing some phenomenal, almost contortion-like movements with their body, with a smile on their face, expecting you to do the same. And that is our vision of fitness on what we got to be. No, it's not. Fitness is all about the business. The business is you. How do you move? How do you function? How do you think? How do you breathe? All of it is fitness. Absolutely everything is fitness. We in this industry are intrinsically motivated. So that means that no matter what, we are doing something to better our health, no matter what. So what we try and do, we think that's the best thing. So we try and promote that to others. But those others, they don't have that kind of intrinsic value. You may have a mother, right? And that mother loves to cook for her children. And every morning when she wakes up, she's thinking, what am I going to cook for my children? That's her intrinsic value. That's her health right there. That's how she gets intrinsically motivated internally with her own intuition. Now, we got to understand that absolutely everyone is different. Everyone's success is based on their intrinsic value, right? So what would actually achieve that? What would actually achieve that success being delivered to your world? Adaptation. To be adaptable. And in this current climate, I don't think there's anything more purposeful than adaptation. Because being adaptable is the birth child of necessity. So if you have something that is of necessity, that is the mother of your adaptation. So if you're struggling to pay a bill, for example, you're going to try and find money from somewhere to pay that bill, right? So you have to adapt. So the necessity is you paying more. You have to find more to pay for that bill. That's the necessity. So what you have to do, you have to adapt, right? So you go to the doctors and the doctor says, listen, you got a heart problem. You got to start exercising. You got to start watching what you eat, yeah? So what do? You start that by yourself. The necessity is your health all of a sudden. So then you do something about it. You cut your calories down and what have you, and then you find out that things are not working the way you want. So what do? You hire a professional. Right, okay, and then that professional comes, fit, has judgment, right? And I'm not judging every fitness professional, of course I'm not. But what I'm saying is you normally get that, No, you got to tap into that person's reason for reaching you. That may have been a 2-year-long struggle that person has come to you. You got to understand that. And that's their success. Their success is reaching out to you. That's the way that I value every single client. That is the way that I value every single person that reaches out to me. So that's why I said to you, the 55s to the 65s, you have forgotten more than I would ever know. And I love that because that challenges me. If I'm challenged, that means I can become adaptable. So let me just go on to something a bit different, but it's still connected in this current climate as well. Have you buried anyone? Have you buried something? Seriously. Then you've learned the value of time, right? I've buried my business. My business got buried. But do you know when I got told, get a life? That means that I was becoming successful into developing more skills, more trades, more masteries that I can be giving as value. So I'm a nutritional coach, right? I'm a personal trainer, right? I'm a tutor for personal trainers, right? So my business died. One part of my business died. I buried it. So what do I have to do now? Resurrect it. There's no such thing unless you are really religious and you believe that. And you think about karma and you think about resurrections. And you spend your time biblically manifesting everything of holy inside of you. If that's who you are, then yes, I'd like to speak to you as well. But ultimately, what do you do when you've just buried something? What do? You grieve, right? You've got to get over the grievance. Or at least you've got to shelve it. And how do you shelve it and then move on? Time. Use that time. Not the time that you've been given, but the time that is your tool. So learn something. Learn a new skill. Learn a new craft. Learn a new strategy. And again, that's why I'm here. So this isn't selling, but it is selling. Hopefully you haven't felt like I've tried to sell you anything, but I'm there to sell. Because many, many years ago, I tried to get a life.